Hi, my name is Jeff Boyle with Galaxy Control Systems. In this film, I'm going to show you how to do an easy backup with System Galaxy. Creating a backup is a very important task that you're going to want to make one of your regular processes in doing installations. We've created a tool for you to use so that you can do the backup without actually having to go into the SQL Server Management Studio. On your Galaxy Server PC, you can go to Windows Explorer by clicking on the File Explorer icon here on your taskbar. Browse into the drive where you've installed System Galaxy. In this case, I've installed on the C drive. You will find a GCS directory, that's Galaxy Control Systems, and in there is System Galaxy. And then under there is a Utilities directory. You're going to find a file called GCS Service Manager. Now this program must be run as administrator. So I'm going to right-click on it and select Run as Administrator. I'm going to allow it using the user account control. And it opens up a list of all of the services that are pertinent to the System Galaxy operation. If I scroll to the bottom of the list, I will see MSSQL $GCS SQL Express. That's the database engine, and I'm going to highlight it, and when I do, it opens up a Configure SQL Server Backup button. So I'm going to click on the button, and that's going to take me to the backup configuration screen. Okay. The very top item here is the default directory where the backup is going to be stored. That is not a particularly good place to store your backup because it's the same drive that the database is going to be residing on, and if you would lose the drive, you would lose both. However, it is one that we definitely know exists when we do the install, and that's why it defaults to that. If you are forced to put the database backup on the same drive as your database, there's a better option. You can click on the Browse button here at the end of the field, open up Windows Explorer, and we're going to browse to the Program Files directory. So I'm going to close up GCS. I'm going to open up Program Files. I'm going to find Microsoft SQL Server, and then I'm going to find the MSSQL 10_50.gcs SQL Express directory. And inside there's MSQL. We'll find it eventually. And under there, finally, there is the backup directory. Okay. That is the default backup location for SQL Server. The reason we didn't select that is because our installation doesn't necessarily know where that folder resides during the installation process, and you have to go find it on your own. But if you tell an end user's IT person that the SQL Server backup is in the SQL Server backup directory, they should know to look in this location. So click OK, and I now have my backup path. Okay. Under security settings, it's already pre-populated for you using the default username and password for the Galaxy database. You would only need to change that if for some reason you were using something other than the defaults. By default, we're going to back up both the main Galaxy database, which is the one that has all of the programming in it and all of the current activity history. And we're also going to be backing up the Syscal-Arc database, which is the database that holds history data for anything that's been deleted or purged from the main database. If I just want to make a backup, I click the button that says Run Test Backup. You'll see a command window open up, and then a results will appear. And you will see that you have, in the backup directory, I now have two backups, Syscal-Arc with a date and timestamp for Syscal, and a date and timestamp for Syscal-Arc. I also have a results document. It's very important that if you're doing backups on an ongoing basis, that someone be trained to look at these documents, because it's possible if something had gone wrong, there would be an error, and this document would reveal that there was an issue with the backup and tell you the reason that the backup had not run properly. And I'm going going to close that. And I'm going to close that. And I'm going to minimize that so our backup screen is a little easier to see. Okay. Now, what if I want to schedule a backup? I want the backup to occur on an ongoing basis. In order to do that, I'm going to create a SQL script and a batch file that will be executed by the Windows Task Scheduler. In order to do that, I'm going to click the button that says Create Backup Files. Create Backup Files, and I'll view the files so that you can see what I'm doing. Creates a SQL script and a batch file that will be executed by the task manager. All right, I'm going to close those windows. Again, remember that your best bet is to store your database backup somewhere off of the main server, but if not, put it in this backup directory. Once I have created those backup batch files, I'm going to come down here to save the scheduled backup task. I have to have a valid login on the computer, so I'm going to enter my login here. That is my password anyway. And save a scheduled backup task. And scheduled task has now been successfully saved. Now right now it's scheduled to run every day at 11 p.m. How often should you run a backup? That really depends on the needs of the customer. The two factors involved would be how vulnerable they are to data loss, that is activity history and changes to the database, card adds, deletes, access groups, time schedules, and things like that. So you need to have a conversation with the end user to determine how often they make changes to give you a good idea of how often you should be doing a backup. Now, if I decided I don't need to do it every day, I can go into Windows Scheduler. The easiest way to find Task Scheduler is to right-click on your Start icon, go to Search, and type Task Scheduler. And you'll see here we have an option for scheduled tasks. Okay, it opens up the Task Scheduler. Click on Task Schedule Library, and you will see the System Galaxy backup that we just created a few moments ago. You double click on it, it opens up a Properties window. Click on Triggers, highlight your task, and then click Edit. And you can change from daily to weekly. You can specify that it runs on certain days. You can go monthly. You have a lot of different options. You can have it run every other day, twice a week, every third Friday. You're totally up to you. And I'm going to close that out. And I'm going to go back to my Galaxy SQL Server Backup Manager. Okay. So I have run a backup. I have scheduled the backup to run. And now I've covered my bases so that if something happens to the main database, I'll have a backup to go back to, and I won't have to reprogram everything in the system. Thank you for watching how to create an easy Galaxy backup. If you still have questions, feel free to contact our 24/7 support team. At Galaxy, we're committed to world-class training and support, and we encourage our dealers to come to our in-house training to get more in-depth knowledge and step-by-step instructions in all aspects of installing and maintaining our systems.